Friday morning, 30th of December, last couple of days before the new year. Look what's arrived. This is a River Razor 14. Now, let me explain. Boris de Rivière is a magnificent maker of razors. He contributes quite a few good comments on all the razor sites. But between the two of us, I said to him, I absolutely love the traditional Philharmonica Palmera size of razor, but I very much admire new steels and new techniques. So look, he sent me this. Note, gold spine, deep hollow. She's a full 8/8. That is an incredibly good, very, 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 very high shine, very thin blade, which I like. It's got one of these wonderful new materials for the scales. It looks like a very gold grained wood with some sort of incredibly good blue, probably carbony, fibre-y sort of liner. But what I do love is when you get one of these, when you get a River Razor, you also get a full breakdown of the technicalities on it. It's 130 WCRV5 steel. Now that is a very, very high grade of steel. You've got to be a master to use that sort of steel. She's an 8/8. She's a full 26mm. The model is a River 14, based, as I say, on the Philharmonica and the Palmera shape. Chrome mirror finish. Hardness is 64 HRC. It's a Juma Golden Dragon scale, full hollow, and an absolute bargain. So, without further ado, there's the little box it came in. Without further ado, I'm going to lather up and try this beast. This has got every attribute of a top-end razor. But the brilliant part, as far as I'm concerned, is the fact there's innovations. For instance, no more bashing the living shit out of your joints when you want to tighten a razor up. This one has high-tech screws, so it isn't your usual brass rivet. It's actually, if I can show it, only just see it from here, but that is a high precision screw on both sides. So adjustment would be absolutely infinite. Also, should you ever wish to, you could of course take the blade out without destroying the scales. How many of us have actually tried to take apart a razor and ended up cracking the scales, which is of course a crime. Anyway, I'm going to use my traditional normal chala, which is my red almond oil favourite. I'm using a little brush that just arrived this morning. I waited, it's a bit of a late shave, to get this strange little brush. Supposedly it's nylon, but I don't think it is. I actually think it's bristle. It's extremely hard. I really don't like it very much, to be honest. It feels like I'm rubbing coarse-grained sandpaper into my skin. So I don't think I'm going to use that one very much. Let's actually try a traditional. Now this is a natural hair brush, but this one is an Amiga. So, oh my goodness, yeah. Right, that's that. That's much better. Goodness me. Don't buy cheap brushes. Oh, lordy, lordy. Anyway, that'll do. I'm not a great one for putting on infinite amounts of cunning lather. I think if the lather is good, it's a kind lather, fine. For me, it's the quality of the edge. If you've got a really good edge, you shouldn't be worried. Anyway, here's the marvellous thing. I love my hanging hair tests. I've just hanging hair tested this blade. Now mostly you get a little ping, ping, ping in one direction, and it's almost silent in the other because one is going with the scales and the other direction is going against the scales. Almost any razor will make a nice pinging when it's going into the scales. Very difficult. This one, it does absolutely marvellous either direction of the hair. That's the sign of a good edge. This is not my edge, as I say. This is Boris's edge. So let's see what happens. Oh my goodness me. I can't even feel it. This is ridiculous. Now, I don't do comparisons for the sake of boosting other people. I do them because I love razors. Yeah. This is right up there with my last shave with a top-end Palmera. My Palmera, a special, probably one of the finest razors ever made, and you know, sort of like 40 maybe 50 years old, mint condition. This one just beat it. So if you want a really, really, really good custom razor, Boris Riviere seems to have the knack. This would last anybody a lifetime. I love the fact though, the care and precision. I was quite rigorous in going over it. One thing I always go for is the fact that the blade aligns precisely in the middle of the scales, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. That's a pretty good edge. I wonder what he uses. Yeah, that's nice. Now for me to say it's got a good edge and it's come straight from the manufacturer is very unusual. I don't care who the manufacturer is, whether it's a big name, Boca, or whether it's any of the custom makers. Normally you're very lucky if you can shave straight off without doing a little bit of work yourself. All I've done is just lightly strop this, but I did do a very rigorous hanging hair test, and as I say, anything that passes the hanging hair test really, really, really well is guaranteed to give you a good shave, and this one is no exception. But the best part is that it's based exactly on the Philomonica 14, hence why the name. You can see it's a River Razor 14, and that means you've got the continuity of the quality of the design from that period. They can't be beaten. You don't beat that shape. It fits absolutely perfectly to the hand. They're not great big bulbous thick scales with dead mammoths on them or whatever. I would say this is as good as $1,000 rare Philomonica or Palmera in mint condition for a fraction of the price. Can you hear that? That's against the grain, absolutely effortless, and a little bit of trimming because I didn't go down far enough. Yeah, that's BBS on the second pass. In fact, it's the first against the grain pass. So, I'm not going to waste your time, chaps. I'm sure you all got better things to do than watch me, Martin, doing convoluted weird shaves. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go a couple of more strokes against the grain, do a couple of little sideways strokes just to prove that it works. Oh yeah. Without any dragging. That's good. That's very good. Little trim here and there. What can I say? Boris, you make fantastic razors. I'd say River Razors goes right to the top of the tree. It's a beautiful crafted, beautiful scales out. I'm falling slowly in love with the scales. They're sort of a golden brown. Don't know if you can actually see the full beauty of them from here. Anyway, modern steel, modern techniques, screwed pivot, precision made, bloody hell. Anyway, I'm going to now enjoy a long trim. I'll leave you guys in peace. This is the first time I've ever used a River razor.